Y'all remember Rashid from Street Fighter V? Yeah, he was like the main character of that game outside of Ryu and Ken. Remember when they said that he was the first Middle Eastern character to appear in Street Fighter? That's a lie. That's a damn lie. In fact, he's not even the second. Y'all gotta start putting some respect on my gun Pullum Purna's name. She was the OG Brown rep. She was there before Rashid was even a thought. Wait a minute. You don't remember Pullum Purna? Street Fighter EX? Don't ring a bell? Oh, brother or sister. Sit down, dog. We're gonna have to educate you.
Seems a little funny how you always find me there. It's almost as if I've been trying to start a home affair.
So it's best to understand the lore of Street Fighter EX before you really get into knowing who Pullum Purna actually is. The EX series was actually only recently considered a spin-off to the mainline Street Fighter games. In the mid to late 90s, a couple of former Capcom employees left the Capcom studio to form their own studio, Arica, to foster their own creative visions and ideas. Their first project was actually a Street Fighter game, funnily enough, gifted by Capcom themselves. They had it on lock. They was like, man, our first game is a Street Fighter game? Say less, this shit is gonna be a breeze. And of course, it was pretty successful, selling over 400,000 copies in its first year. Also, this might seem like a small number, but back in the 90s and back for a smaller company, that's pretty good numbers. I know they had the Street Fighter license, but that's still pretty decent numbers. But although Arica had the Street Fighter license to themselves, they had to make something special out of it. Something to make sure the game fully stands out. Not only was this the first 3D Street Fighter game, but it also gave us a new batch of characters, all designed by the Arica team themselves. In this video, we'll strictly focus on Pullum Purna. However, if you'd like for me to talk about the other characters, just leave a like, let me know in the comments down below. I will talk about them as well. Every time I think of Street Fighter EX, for some reason, Pullum Purna is like the face that shows up in my mental office. I know she's not like the official face of the game, but like, you know, man, look at her, bro. She's like iconic, low-key. Pullum Purna only makes a few appearances in the Street Fighter series, with her first one being in the EX or EX1, but she is very popular within the EX fan base, you know, all 13 of them. The sole reason for her even being in this Street Fighter was due to her missing grandfather. Missing grandfather? Wait a minute. I'm having a little bit of deja vu here. This has happened before. Hold on a minute. She's the daughter of a high political figure, and as she was walking through her big ass mansion, she noticed that her grandfather's room was dead silent. She was confused, a little bit flabbergasted, to be completely honest with you. Her granddaddy stayed making noise, dog, 24/7. Sometimes she can't even sleep. She went to see what's going on, and she noticed that her granddad was hypnotized, gazing away with a distant look. In his palm, he held a pocket-sized book in his hand with the word Shadowloo right across it. Oh my god, her loud ass granddaddy was brainwashed. I can't believe it. Pullum Purna couldn't believe it either. Her granddaddy don't do nothing but be loud. He ain't deserve all this. Why was he brainwashed? Who is Shadowloo? What the hell is going on? So she locks in and decides to figure out who caused all this, and she wants to make sure she beats that person to a pulp. She hires the Rune Mister, an Indian wrestling champion and also a playable character in this game, so you can use him, to be her bodyguard. And together, they're gonna solve this mystery. Pullum Purna actually has no business entering this competition. Completely no business besides finding her grandfather. She's relatively spoiled. That doesn't really make her snobby. Very similar to Elena, she's cheerful and always has a positive outlook in life. She loves exploring and finding new things, being curious. She likes ice cream, she loves dancing. In fact, she loves dancing so much, it's actually her staple fighting style. Her and Elena are like so alike, they be besties. Somebody got to get them together. Hey Rio, make this happen. When I was young, I always thought Pullum Purna was Capcom and Arica's take on Princess Jasmine from Aladdin, just to find out that that was actually the case. 5-year-old me was so smart. Oh my god, oh my god. It wasn't even just her outfit, her personality, her understanding of mixed martial arts. Hey bro, Disney would have probably given them a lawsuit if this happened today. But back then, they was very lenient. I don't know why, but they just was. Pullum Purna rocks a blue vest with gold patterns. Right below, she got a white lace bra and baggy blue pants. Very Disney. She goes through quite a few changes with her outfits throughout her appearances within the games. However, they're relatively minor. When it comes to her fighting style, like stated earlier, it's embodied in dancing. Whilst the fighting style that she displays isn't necessarily real, it does set forth a fighting style with a lot of aerobics and jumping. Similar to Elena, she mainly uses her legs to fight. In fact, she can even double jump. You know what's so crazy about that? She's the only character that can double jump. She's the only, in the fighting game, she can double jump. Okay, Pullum Purna, I see you. Trying to line that CV for Smash 6, I see you, I get it. Yes, yes girl, be that fighting layer EX rep. Her moveset is very extensive and very much influenced by other characters as well, covering tons of range. One of her moves, Drew Puris, involves her drilling her legs up and attacking the opponent, similar to Dalsim's yoga drill kick. Her Pullum kick is very similar to Tekken's martial laws, up B or up X, depending on how you play it, where it's like an in-air vertical spin kick that, honestly covers a lot of ground, so it's, it's kind of crazy. That move's kind of overpowered. Her spinning kick is very similar to Ryu's Shinku Tatsumaki Senpu Kyako. I killed that pronunciation. Maybe she's not so original, but she's not a fighter. She's a dancer. Her finishing move is her dancing with her opponent. The opponent spins so much, they die. What a crazy move. Notice how she's spinning at the same speed as her opponent and she ain't losing any health. She's used to this, not new to this. Her granddaddy made her do this every day. You know how old she is? She's 16. Look at her face when she's spinning. Light work. So where does Pullum Purna fall short? Couple of things. Pullum Purna only makes her appearances in the Street Fighter EX games and never returns to any other mainline games. Honestly, that can be said for most of the cats for the EX game. When it comes to how she is displayed, is she a good representation of women of Saudi Arabia? Because that's where she's from? Nah, not really. I mean, you can obviously tell that not a lot of research was done connecting her design to Saudi/Islamic values. I said this in countless videos, but I don't get at developers too hard for character designs like her, just because for the most part it's mainly fictional, and I'm sure access to information about women within the parallels of Saudi Arabia culture wasn't as easy to come across 30 years ago as it is today. You can tell that a lot of more research was put on Rashid compared to Pullum, just because Capcom has more infrastructure for better research compared to back then. Seeing how much they've changed, it's no surprise. Now before we end this video, I don't know why I'm pointing at y'all. Before we end this video, we gotta let you guys know why she's here in the first place. We know her granddaddy is missing, but why else? Each game has a different conclusion and some kind of retcon each other, so I'll try my best to connect them. In Street Fighter EX, it's probably the darkest when it comes to her concluding chapter. It ends with us finding out that she has someone in her family that actually worked for the Shadaloo that caused all this. The person is said to openly dislike her and thinks she's selfish. But until this day, we don't know who this is. Until this day, honestly, until right now, June 23rd, 2025. In Street Fighter EX2, Pullum just got completely caught up with the tourists. She was super curious about everything, totally forgot about what she was even there for. I was like, ma'am, your grandfather, what about him? What's going on with him? She's going up to the rune and telling him, hey, yo, I'm trying to go to outer space next. Outer space? Your grandfather is mine. His soul is in outer space. You gotta go help him. What's going on? Yo, get it together. So the last thing before we conclude this video is basically her legacy and what sort of impact she's had in the Street Fighter. Like all the original characters from the Street Fighter EX games, Pullum fails to return to the mainline series. She appears in every single EX iteration, and we don't hear from her for a few years. Not until the release of Fighting EX Layer, a fighting game created by Arika with every single Street Fighter EX character that didn't appear in the Street Fighter prior to the first EX game. Arika low-key retconned her story in FEXL. We don't know the time difference between EX3 and FEXL exactly, so I can't really tell you exactly when this happened, but in this version of the game, her father actually disappears, making her the grand leader of her country. She fights to find more about clues on her dad's whereabouts. We still don't know what the hell happened to her grandfather. That dude is stuck on a hypnosis. The rune and her best friend Blair, which is actually another character in the Street Fighter EX series. If you want me to talk about her, let me know. Actually join her in this adventure. There's really no conclusion into anything in her story. Everything about her lore in Fighting EX Layer felt kind of rushed. Pullum is actually referenced in other Capcom fighting games as well. In Power Stone, the character Rouge strongly resembles Pullum Purna with not only her looks but also her fighting style, mainly focusing on leg attacks and dance-oriented combos. Luca from Star Gladiator and Karen from Suikoden also slightly resemble her as well. Pullum Purna's design is hard, there's no denying it, but there's a reason why Arab Street Fighter fans prefer Rashid over her. Because it's more connected to Islam, Muslim, Arabic culture, whereas for Pullum Purna it feels more Disney, it feels more cartoony, which wasn't bad at the time, but now that we have an idea of what these things are today, I guess people want to just get with the times. But we can't forget, she is still the first Street Fighter character that is Middle Eastern, and a great one at that. So hopefully she makes a guest appearance in Street Fighter 6. I highly doubt it. Thank you all so much for watching and tuning in. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on Pullum Purna and Street Fighter EX. I had an idea that I wanted to review every single character in one video. Depending on how this video does, I might do that. Depending on how everything else does, I might do that as well. Let me know in the comments down below who else you would like to hear if I decide that I want to just do a character per video. If there anyone in particular that you want me to talk about, just let me know in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, my name is My name is That Guy Bry. I make commentary videos and gaming contents here all the time. You know, tune in. I made a video talking about Christy Montero from Tekken, and I also made a video talking about Elena from Street Fighter. She's just been recently added to Street Fighter 6. I made a video talking about her, so check that out. Check those videos out as well. Link in the description. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you're new, leave a like, subscribe, and like I said, comment down below. Love y'all. Bye-bye.